Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome, everyone. Inshallah, everyone is doing well and healthy and feeling strong in their faith in Allah. Now, we started last week the story of Prophet Yunus, and our title of the discussion was, I found myself in the story of Yunus. How do I find myself in the story of Yunus? Let's see. We discussed the verse 139 and 140, 141. So we covered them, and then we said 142, whereupon the great fish swallowed him, for he had been blameworthy. Why he had been blameworthy? We said, oh, it's a long discussion. That is, stop there. 37, which is Safat, chapter Safat. So 142 says, فَالْتَقَمَهُ الْحُوتُ وَهُوَ مُلِيمٌ. So here the wahua means because. It's translated for. The same meaning, he had been blameworthy. Why? We will understand from other verses that the prophet Yunus felt unsuccessful in his conveying the message, spreading the message which Allah endowed on him, and the people were not really responsive and didn't welcome his message. He said, okay, I am unsuccessful in fulfilling my message. So he felt, we understand that he has done something wrong. That's why he was not really successful. So he felt he lost his self-confidence in himself. These are our interpretations. There may be other types of interpretations. We never deny other scholars' ideas. There are some joining this as well. Some of them try to understand the verse from another perspective according to the need they feel. Everybody is free. As long as we follow the grammatic structure of the verse, we can interpret it and apply it to our life as the living requirements allows us and gives us the opportunity to benefit from the story. So the story, why God tells this kind of, if you like, psychological analysis in terms of stories, because it must be open to interpretations. So everybody will find himself, herself in the verse or in the story, which is told in the Quran. So we said last week, we said that we are very careful not to go into Torah interpretations, or it is called Israeli knowledge, information. Maybe right, maybe wrong. We don't blame anyone, none of our business. We always keep ourselves within the limitations of the message we receive through the Quran and see what the Quran tells. So Quran tells that he was thrown into the sea because the sea were, the ship was full of other people, and the sea was so turbulence, and everybody felt that, instead of droning everyone. Let's throw some people so that the weight on the ship will be low. We understand from it. That's why they فساهم. It means they say, okay, who is going to be thrown away or cast, thrown away? So they cast lots. Sahama. So he was the one who was rejected. Mudhadin. He was the one who is rejected. It means thrown. It is translated as, and he was the one who lost. It means thrown into the sea. Now, first of all, turbulence, dark, and when he fell into the sea, a great fish swallowed him. For he had been blameworthy because he has done something wrong. Of course, there is an important question here. Mulim, someone who deserves to be blamed. It means that he has done something wrong, or then this person says, okay, you have done something wrong. You'd better correct yourself. So I am going to put you into various stages of experiences so that you will learn what mistakes you have done. But mulim, it is translated here, I agree with the translation, blameworthy, doesn't mean that God was angry with him and it is a punishment. We discussed last week that even the punishment we see that we receive from God is not the wrath of God. It is, yes, something that we don't like. According to us, it is a punishment. And we have to notice that God always does something in favor of his creatures, in favor of the people he created. Why do we interpret it in this way? Although the clear language is in the Quran used that God curses people, God is angry with the people, and God punishes the people, but we are here some sort of playing in a way it looks like it. That's how it looks. That make God look nice. No, we have to understand some principles that briefly I will talk about this principle, how to read the Quran. There are many fundamental principles how to read the Quran and try to benefit from its teaching. One of them is, which is related to us, God speaks to us in terms of our living conditions. What does it mean? If something hurting me, if I am in pain, of course, I am punished for something from my perspective. For example, the very simple example, if a mother puts some sort of restrictions or somehow shows disapprove of the child's behavior and maybe prevents him by pulling him back, and maybe sometimes the child may need a stronger warning. And then child, from child's perspective, mother is angry and mother is punishing. And also, if mother blames the child says, my mother is cursing me. From child's perspective, that's right. How about from mother's perspective? We have to be careful. Mother is getting angry. Of course, as a human being, we get angry. But God, yes, demonstrates a certain kind of attitude towards us in order to make us benefit from his attitude. It is for our favor. Can we imagine that the one who created me wants to harm me? It is contradictory to the reality that we are experiencing in this world, because if he's going to harm me, why do I think that he has created me and asking me to follow a right direction in order to fulfill the purpose of my life? And he says, I am going to guide you. Of course, guidance needs mostly encouragement, but sometimes, if necessary, some sort of limitations, some sort of severe attitude, so that the child, in the example of the child, may feel pain, but for example, a surgeon, while he or she is making the surgery, she or he cuts the body. It hurts, right? But the patient is happy because the patient knows that it is for his benefit. But of course, in practical life, it is not that clear cut. We may not know that this operation, this surgery, is for my benefit. We say immediately that is an immediate reaction. We demonstrate, we show that, oh, it is hurting me, you hurted me, you are angry with me, you are punishing me because I am ill. No, no, no. You are ill, that's correct, but the surgeon is not punishing you. Although it hurts, but it is not punishing you. He is not punishing you. He is helping you. So I would understand when I feel pain from the treatment of God's choice, God's will. I feel pain, but I must understand that this is for my benefit. So Yunus was in a dark, stormy night in the middle of nowhere in the sea, and thrown into the sea. No one is helping. Everyone wants to get rid of him. Not only him, maybe a couple of people as well, but the example is going to be given on Yunus for us. Yunus was on top of it, swallowed by a big, great fish. Oh, what's happening now? Yunus is within another darkness. That is what I understand. If someone despairs because of his mistakes, that he thinks this mistake, I deserve the punishment, that is how in our daily life we do the same thing. When we fail, when we are not successful, when we don't get what we expect from life, then we feel despair. We feel lose our confidence in ourselves. So we start developing sense of guilty. I am the guilty. I am not a good man at all. I am always unsuccessful. I continuously fail in my projects, in my aims. That makes a man run away from the present responsibility. What am I going to do with this now? I am going to do. I always fail. Anyways, that is the product of sense of guilty and despair. It's a consequence of sense of guilty puts us in despair. And what we do now, we run away from our daily responsibilities. That is how I go through this psychological processes in my life when I start feeling a failure, a lost case. I am the loser. I couldn't perform my job. I couldn't succeed in what I wanted to get. That is the beginning of the disease in one's psyche. We have to be careful. If you fail, it doesn't mean that it is the end of your hope. Try another one. Try another one. And definitely there will be way out, but never, ever run away from your responsibility. But we do run away. I do run away from my responsibility. I say, I cannot do it, come on. I tried, I applied for this job, I applied for that job. Come on, no one is really paying attention to me. No one is taking seriously my resume. Oh, I'm not going to apply anymore. That's it. I left the field now. What happened? Because I am despaired of again making a fresh attempt to start a new position. No, I am despaired. I run away from the field of my responsibility. What Yunus did. So in this position, everything comes, it piles up on top of each other. You say, I failed in the past, I'm not going to do anything now, and I am a lost case, I will not be able to do anything. Go to bed. Take the comforter on your face, close your eyes, either start crying or trembling, shivering, sweating because of the loss of all hope for the future. And that is called stress. And the stronger form of stress, depression. So you cannot get out of the bed anymore. You cannot open the curtains and windows, get a fresh air. You cannot go out of your bedroom for a walk out and see what the beautiful world is for you. The sun is shining for you. Nothing. You say, I am worth nothing. Oh, no, not you, actually. I say, I am worth nothing. That's a horrible horrible psychological situation to fall in, which Yunus's position represents it. Hopelessness on top of hopelessness, darkness on top of turbulence, turbulence on top of, in the middle of nowhere in the sea at all, no hope. No, you can not get any anchor that you can hold on to it, nothing. And on top of it, now depression starts. What? Fish swallows you. You cannot go a little bit far away as well. You are almost confined to the limitations of the fish's stomach or belly. Oh, what are you going to do now? In this worst scenario, God presents us a way of salvation, rescue ourselves. What is that? Let's see. Okay, the following one. Here it is. وذنوني إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه. Now, and Jonah, or fish, ذنون it's called, when he went forth and enraged and thought that he would have no power over, so we would have no power over him. It means in this despair, what is really extremely important to notice, as if I am the lost case, so God is, my creator is. I lost my faith in myself. I lost my confidence in myself. I extend this horrible psychological complexity to God's sphere of power, mercy, benevolence, providence, compassion. He, as if, cannot help me either. No, I am lost. He thought this way. But he said, am I right? He was a virtuous man. Of course, that is how we should transfer this position that we found ourselves in a complete despair, complete depression. God says, hey, think about now. Think about it. Who we are. Who is your creator? Who is the one who created the fish? Who is the one who created the sea and the darkness and turbulence and the ship and the tribe that you tried to convey the message and you failed? Who is the one who creates and organizes, plans all this? Is it you or the one who creates the universe? Who is it? Then Yunus says, look, what am I doing here? I don't think my position, my understanding of the situation is right. I have to watch out. What he says, and La ilaha illa anta. As soon as he realizes that his impotence cannot be extended to the impotence of God, who created the universe and who is the creator of the universe right now. He can manage everything. He can do everything. He's creating the universe. Now, that is God. It is not you and me. So he said, Then he called out in the darkness. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ. He called out in the darkness upon darkness upon darkness. It means complete depression. But he said, no. La ilaha illa anta. That is a beautiful shift now. It demonstrates to me that if a person is a completely lost case, as far as he is concerned, he can still realize that he is impotent, that is right. He cannot do anything, that is right. He cannot get out of this situation, that is right. Everything is right. Everything that we imagine in the negative side is right from us, from our perspective. Excuse me. But there is a fact out there, which is La ilaha illa anta. Yes, I cannot do anything. Yes, fish cannot do anything. Yes, the sea cannot do anything. Darkness, turbulence cannot do anything by themselves. We creatures cannot do anything by ourselves. But the one who creates the universe, who creates the world, who creates the sea, who creates the darkness, turbulence, fish, can do everything. None of the creatures have any quality of deity, any quality of Godhead, any quality of really creating anything, doing anything, but I am the creature, the production of the one who created the whole universe. He can. He is the creator of the fish. He is the creator of the sea, everything. He can. Yes, I cannot. That's absolutely correct. But he can. It is also absolutely correct. Turn now. Rather than trying to solve the problem within yourself and finding yourself hopeless, helpless, impotent, powerless, now go back to the Creator. La ilaha illa anta. There is no God. Nothing in this world can do anything but you. You, my creator. Look, that is important. In most of the cases, the Quran uses the expression La ilaha illa hu. Here, the expression changed. La ilaha illa anta. There is no deity, there is no God, there is no absolute power as far as the universe is concerned. But you, not he. He means somehow distance. The one he. How about the one you? You are in front of me. I am addressing you. Now you are communicating together. I can speak to you now. You are my creator. I am your creature. That is how close we are to each other. So I can feel that you are my owner. Come on. So you are my boss, if you like. You are my owner. You are everything. I am nothing in this position. Yeah. It is very important to be able to say, Ente, La ilaha illa, Ente, oh my creator. There is nothing like you in this world. There is nothing who has the power, knowledge, will, anything. But everything is from you, oh my creator. How friendly, how warm this address, the way of address is. It means God is teaching us when we are in a complete despair, even in a complete despair or a little bit of a despair, doesn't matter. We have to find God just in front of us. He is my creator. He's the creator of all this situation now. La ilaha illa anta subhanak. Now the confession starts. Subhanak. Glory be to you. It means you are flawless. Whatever you do must be a perfect one. Whatever you create must be the most fitting one for my benefit in order to save me. This is your choice. That is how I understood that I am completely helpless. I am completely impotent. But through my realization of my impotence, that I cannot get out of this depression or stress or hopelessness, despair by myself, but you can take me out of it. La ilaha illa ente. You are the perfect one. You are flawless. Your power, your knowledge, your mercy, your compassion, everything has no limit, stretches out everywhere, including the inner, very inner part of my atoms, my electrons, my particles. Everything is under your control because you are the source of existence of all my being, including my feelings. This confession, this realization, acknowledging that you are nothing, you cannot solve anything, but with the helping hand of the Creator, everything can happen. Just confess your impotence. You cannot do anything by yourself, but with the strength that God provides for you, you can do everything. You are Subhan. Glory be to you. Really, in English, doesn't mean much that you are glorified. No, 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 no. You are flawless. Subhan means, tasbih means, really the root cause of it, you have nothing lacking in your perfection. You have nothing in your perfection that lacks. Perfect. It means absolutely perfect. I would rather translate this or understand this Subhanak in this context. You are absolutely perfect and all-powerful one, omnipotent one, almighty one, everything. So I have done wrong. Yeah, inni. Yeah, Subhanak, inni kuntu min al-zalimin. I am the one who did wrong. Why? Not because I am confessing my failure. It is human. Be careful. We have to be careful. It is a very delicate point here. It is you human. We fail. It is normal. It is expected of us. Don't worry. But the main point here, I have done wrong because I have not realized this position that I confess now. La ilaha illa ente. Subhanaka. When I was feeling despair, when I failed in the field that I was responsible to convey the message, to spread the message to the people, whether they listen to it or not, but fulfill my duty. I thought I would do it. No, no, no. I would try to do it, but everything is in your hand. You will create the result. I didn't know that. I thought I would get the result by myself. That is the confession, how the confession should take place, rather than saying, excuse me again, rather than saying that I did something wrong. No, 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 it is not confession. It is just, yeah, you did something wrong, but it doesn't take you to any solution at all. What is the real essence of the mistake here is very important now. Be careful. We have to be all careful. We think that we are going to be successful. We are going to achieve the goals. No, no, no. We will make the attempt. The Creator will create the result for us. It is His will to decide what the result should be. My duty is just to sow the seed in the soil. That's it. I've done my job. How about growing the plants or vegetables or whatever, whatever is coming, grain? No, it's not me who's going to grow the grain. This is what we do practically. In this case, it is so clear, but in our personal life, especially in our social life, in our social relationship with other people, we don't see the matter as clearly as the farmers say. Of course, the believing farmers. Non-believing farmers will say that the water grew it or something, the sunlight grew it. Okay, that's their choice. But those people who are aware that the universe is under the control of the one who has created it, gave existence to it. So I believe we are all in this on this side. So we say, yes, the grain is going to be grown by the creator of the universe. How about for example, applying for a job, applying for a position in while I'm doing something, or applying for an application to be accepted in a university, in a college, whatever, or trying to attempt to start a new job, new business, whatever. We don't see that relationship that clearly, that I am going to send my resume, I am going to prepare myself as much as I can, but the result is not in my hand. The result will be grown by the decision of my creator, depending on his will, which is, his will is always in my favor. Never ever forget this. He always wills our goodness. Otherwise, do you think he is our enemy? He created us in order to have enemies? Oh, it is nonsense. So we may not see the result, immediate result that we expect to come out, but we have to know that in the long run, what God chooses for us is all for our benefit. He is our protector. He is our Lord. He is our sustainer. He is our owner. What father or which mother wants to harm his child? That's an example. Of course, it's an analogy. That is how we are created. Even I get angry with my children, still as a human being, I get angry. So still for the benefit of my children, not for my own benefit. I would like them to be in a better position. If I don't see them in a better position, I say, oh, they shouldn't be like this. They should be in the place where I would like them to be. Well, of course, my narrow understanding, not knowing what the future brings. Now, so I think that I am the best. I am the one who makes the best decision. That is why we may fail in our expectations, but the one who creates the universe must have infinite absolute knowledge. He is not expected to fail in his expectations, in his plannings. So whatever comes out, we have to put our trust in God that he is doing anything, creating anything in our favor. For example, if I didn't do my job, let's say I didn't sow the seed in the right season, the grain doesn't grow. God doesn't create the grain. Why? In favor of us, again, he says, you'd better learn the right season according to the order of my creation. So he says, okay, go and investigate which season you have to sow the seed. So try this one, try that, but of course you have to do your part until you find the right position which fits the order of the universe, which is nothing but the will of the Creator. So we have to obey the will of the Creator as it should be obeyed. But we shouldn't be lazy. But while we are doing some wrong things, God doesn't give us success saying that you have to do your job in a better way. It is a training, it is teaching, it is just educating us. Nothing to do with anger, nothing to do with curse, just educating us. Although we may feel that we are blameworthy, okay, we failed, okay, that's correct, but in the eye of the Creator, he says, okay, I will try to teach this person, this creature of mine, this human being that I created, so that he will correct himself. So what he did, he threw, well, as a result, he threw Yunus into the sea, and then he made the great fish swallow it. The result is created by him. Although the people threw the prophet Yunus into the sea, but that was God's plan for his benefit, for Yunus's benefit. It means for my benefit, for your benefit. Becoming completely helpless, and then you realize that, they say, then the coin drops. So, I cannot do anything at all. Oh, I am nothing. It means la ilaha. I am nothing. I cannot save myself from this position. But who owns the sea? Who owns the fish? Who owns the darkness, turbulence, sheep, anything? The one who created the universe. Come on, come to your sense, Ali, tells me now through these verses. Hey, the one who creates all this, who is the owner of all this, can do something. Since he created the fish as a vehicle, as another ship for me, so he can create another solution for me. Yeah. So he said, it is beautiful, glory be to you. You are flawless. You can do anything you want. So I confess I have done wrong, not by escaping from the people, escaping from my messengership duty. No, that is what I don't agree. Some people say this, but no, I don't agree, because it doesn't fit God's being Rabb. Rabb takes care of my need. Rabb educates me. Rabb helps me. Rabb always plans for my favor, for my favor. So Rabb means not punishes me, but shows me the way to get out of it. So I have done wrong means while I was preaching, trying to teach. Somebody's mic is open. Let me see. Yeah, Asif's mic is open, so muted. Okay. Asif, all right. I hope the recording is not disturbed. Okay. So, not that I failed, not that I escaped, but we have to be careful here. That's the core teaching of the verse. but I didn't realize La ilaha illa anta subhanaka when I was trying to convey the message, when I was trying to teach the God's message to people there, when I was running away from the people. I didn't think of La ilaha illa anta subhanak. There is no deity, there is no power at all. Everything is on you. You are the perfect one. You can do everything. So I had to trust in you, but I didn't trust in you. That is the wrong I have been doing all my life. I think I am going to get the job. I think I am going to educate my children. I think I am going to shape my wife according to my wishes, expectations. Of course, my wife wishes the same thing. So clashes happen, inescapable clashes happen in the family, and the children try to shape their parents according to their age conditions, life conditions, etc., etc. We all are trying to shape our life according to our own plan, rather than do my duty, what is expected of me, and leave the rest to the Creator. Find out the right season, learn how to seed the seed, how to sow the seed, and do it perfectly. If needed, water it. If needed, clean the wild plants. So take care of this, but you cannot add anything to the growth of the plant or tree or grain. You cannot. I have to admit that. Only God can create it. So I have to convey the message. I have to try my best to be as to choose the as appropriate as much as I know to the principles of the creation. It means the order of the creation, how human psychology works, accordingly treat people, and then leave the result to God to create. But he didn't do that. It's an example. It isn't my example. I'm not blaming somebody who is called prophet or prophet Yunus. No, prophet Yunus is my example, and God is speaking to me now, and he says, Ali, before it is too late, before going into the belly of the great fish, be careful. You'd better acknowledge that you are not the one who's going to create the result, but God will. Just trust him. Never leave the field. Never leave the, if you like, battlefield. Battlefield, not a physical battlefield, war conditions. Battlefield means your egoistic side will say, I am going to fulfill it. I am going to get this job, definitely. I am going to be the successful one. When you fail, that's it. That night is the nightmare for you, waiting. Why? You couldn't do it. That is the mercy of the Creator. You are not successful. Why? He is calling you, hey man, what are you doing? Don't you know your limits? You'd better learn your limits. That is why I created you to worship me, not to worship yourself. Watch out. You are going to lose completely. Before you lose, I am going to give you another opportunity. You will not be successful unless you take a modest position. I am only begging my God to create the result for me while I am building up my resume in the best way, That is just a request from my God. Please give me an honorable job. Yes. Please give me a place in an honorable school. Yes. Please give me an honorable position in my family, among my family members, among the society. So don't make me in need of other people. So please preserve my honor, and I will use my honor only to you, present it to you, saying that, oh God, my creator, you are taking care of me. That is let's see whether after admitting, repenting, that Jonah, what happened? The following verse, this beautiful, mashallah, 28. What the 28 says, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ. So now that you realize the truth, the reality, you repented, you turned back, you confessed what mistake was with you, then of course we automatically answer you. Now that is what is expected of you. That's why I am trying, God is saying now, that's why I am trying to teach you that you are not the one who's going to create the result. I am the one who's going to create the result, but you are going to send a petition letter of petition to me. It means by obeying the order, we are just asking God, please create the result for me. Remember the farmers sowing the seed in the right season? That's it. Farmers say, I grew this grape. No, you didn't. You just asked. Then your request is answered here. But this is only for the one who believes in God. So those people who don't believe in God, their situation, their psychological, if you like, processions are different. It is another case now. We have to discuss it separately, but we can take the main principles from this example for the believers, who is going to tell La ilaha illa anta, subhanaka. There is no deity, there is nothing who have power. There were nothing here that can can create the result. Only you create the result. In order to be able to come to this conclusion, one has to believe in the Creator. Oh, the time is closing. Oh, why I lost myself. So, okay, let's study the verse 88, so that the bright future will come up. We answered him. That's the result. That's what expected of us. So that is what God was expecting of us. So they meet together, and when we confess, really, genuinely, God answers. But we don't know how he is going to answer according to our position. If we totally surrender ourselves to God, like Yunus did, which is in English, Jonah did, Yunus did, then the result will follow. But if we are halfway through, 80%, 60%, 70%, depending on the percentage of our realization, our result may vary. So we have to be prepared. Not that was, oh, I applied for a job without realizing that God is going to give me the job, assign me the job, but I felt that, oh God, I forgot to say, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. So what Jonah said here, there is no God but you, glory be to you, I have done wrong, so God will answer. Come on, man, you have to feel. You have to feel it. All your feelings must really digest it and observe it and fully consciously declare it within yourself. Your tongue also should say it, because you have the tongue to say it. You have the mind to understand it. You have the consciousness to be aware of it, to be cognizant of it. All your feelings must absorb it and internalize it. Then the result will be God's answer, and delivered him out of grief. Oh, وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. Look at this. Look at this. Not وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْهُودِ. No. I mean, we have delivered him out of the great fish. No, that is just an example, man. Be careful. We have delivered him out of grief. Ghamma. It's a very deep grief. You can say depression, the worst scenario. Grief. It is a very important word that the Quran chooses. He didn't say, we have saved him out of the sea. No. Out of the fish? No. Out of the turbulence of the sea? No. We have delivered him out of grief. What a powerful teaching, very delicate teaching. It means all the situation which have been discussed beforehand was describing human grief. Oh my God. It means he was describing my depression, my hopelessness, my despair. Thus do we save believers. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Look, this is the case for believers in God. So how the believers in God should go through this message, how we should follow the path of delivering ourselves, of course, with the help of our Creator God, which path we have to follow in order to be delivered from our grief is said here. The key message is what? فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ. When he was in this darkness upon darkness. ظُلُمَات, plural. Darkness upon darkness. It means, how is it translated? Then he called out in the darkness. No, I mean, multiple darkness upon darkness. ظُلُمَات, plural. So, ظُلُمَاتِ and La ilaha illa anta subhanak inni kuntu min adh-dhalimin. It said, one of my favorite verses. I keep reminding myself, but unfortunately, not great success, because my tongue says it, my mind travels somewhere else. So, but we have to be consistent. Ideally, we are talking about ideal cases, so ideal situations. So, thus we save believers. That's how we really save believers, as long as they repent, they understand the mistake, the core mistake. It doesn't mean that, I forgotten that, I should use this language in order to that language in order to convey my message to them. That's something to do with the order of the universe. That is correct. But the ultimate mistake is we think that we hold the result under our control. That is the main point we may fail to realize. That is what Jonah's example presents us, that he realized, the salvation is only to realize that La ilaha illa anta. There is no deity, there is no power. Every creature is impotent, but only you. That realization is everything. Okay, we have one more, two more slides to go over, inshallah. Okay, we will see how the failure, of course, how the result, deliverance took place, how the result is created. Inshallah, next Wednesday, we will just maybe recap what we have done, because it is so important. It is worth repeating 10 times for me. If you want me to hold the same discussion next week, I would love it because it is really teaching me what my reality is. So I really love to remind myself over and over again, this reality, where the mistake is, never forget, the mistake is not that Yunus has left the tribe or the nation, the people who was sent as the messenger. The mistake is he was expecting the result will come out as a result of his own effort. No, as a result of my effort is not guaranteed. What my Lord, my Rab prefers for me is the matter. Okay, inshallah, if we want to be delivered from our griefs, we have to remember this story. It is not a story, it is me. God is telling me, God is telling you as well. Okay, I think the time is up. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you for joining and being patient with me. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين. This recording of this page will be available on MSA page and Islam from Within webpage, so you can maybe share with your friends if you like. If you liked it, maybe go over it again. That's up to you. But it is recorded and will be uploaded, inshallah, now, soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Fi amanillah. Inshallah, I'll see you next Wednesday. Wassalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.